Hello, hello. Can everyone see me, hear me? Let me see here. Probably just kitty delays. Well, we have sorted out the kitties, and it may be an eyesore, but today I'm going to keep my Coco over here where I can't knock it all over my cards like I did yesterday. But hello, hello. Sorry, yes, I'm just a few minutes late today, but here I am. And I am here to do any political readings for you that are going to make you sleep better. So, hello everyone. Larry Girl, Kathy W., you guys are the best. These are our moderators. They are volunteers. They are amazing. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. So, hello everyone. All right, so fashionably late. Yes. Well, I feel bad being late, but sometimes it is unavoidable. But it was 3 minutes. Sorry. Sorry. All right, so I'm here. I have tarot cards. I am yours for an hour to, what political, oh, thank you, Larry Girl. What political question can I tackle for you? What will help you sleep better? I'm just reading the comments, waiting for questions. Oh no, Coco's right here. It's just I'm keeping it over here where it's out of the, so I'm less likely to knock it over all over everything. Or if it does, this time it'll be fully on camera, so maybe you'll get entertainment value out of that. I don't know. What's going on with Bernie and Elizabeth? Are they really feuding? And what's the energy in the Senate like? Well, let's start there. Okay, Bernie and Elizabeth. Energy in the Senate. And I'm writing this down because it helps me focus on what I want to read on, but also it allows me to put the information as a timestamp below. I think we're just going to use a regular deck today. Because, so later if you need to come back or you're interested, you can just zip forward to, get the answer to whatever question that you're looking for. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to start with Sanders and Warren. What's going on with Sanders and Warren? Pitched battle. They both want to be president. Sorry, I shuffle on my lap so it doesn't make as much noise. It's a pitch battle. They're just they're both feeling the pressure. They feel like there are also a lot of people. It isn't, and it's nice because in the sense of the energy isn't that they're both that full of themselves. It's that they both feel like they have a lot of people who are depending on them. And yes, they both want to be president. What's going on with Sanders and Warren? Something's going to get worse. I don't know what, but I'm getting this feeling of. I think it's related to the Senate impeachment trial, because they're both going to be there, right? Yeah. It is. I'll double check later. That was about starting at about 4 minutes. Okay. Card for the reading. Yeah, that's the Senate impeachment trial. That's Trump in his most corrupt form. Different people come up, especially big players like Trump and Pelosi. They come up as different cards depending on kind of what aspect of what they're doing is most relevant. In the past, In the past, well, they've both made it where they've made it, which is good, but they've both been disappointed as well. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, the oh, wave of energy just hit me. Senate, 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 just wave after wave of energy. But okay, I'm going to try to read on this first. The center of the reading. Well, it's a sort of truth, but it's also, who's got the better ideas? Who's got the best truth? What's going to work? What's not? What's base of the reading? Different people's biases, voters' biases, their own biases. I also heard that I don't know if it's true, but what's the question? The question is, what's going on between Sanders and Warren? Are they really at each other's throats? Are they really? How bad is it going to be? That sort of thing. Above their reading, they were getting along better for a long time because they were both being attacked as Bloomberg calls them, the socialists. Actually, no, I think Bloomberg calls them the communists, where they were both under attack for the ideas of Medicaid for all or whatever else. Near future, and then we're gonna read on the Senate because it's like standing next to a foghorn that's going off. It's like, okay, Senate, all right, I'll get there. Near future. This is, strangely enough, it feels like Bernie with more of a burden and Warren having more of a moment in the sun. But there's also going to be a lot of pressure on both of them. Okay, home environment. Well, they're both well off. They're both running for president. They're both having success. They're don't cry for them, Argentina. I mean, they're fine. They're fine. Hopes and fears. Well, it takes a lot of money to become president. So fighting for fighting for donors. And I'll just flip this around. What we see, emotions spilling over. That happens. Very much a pitched battle, and emotions can run high. And yeah, okay. Final outcome. Neither of them. This feels more like maybe Buttigieg or somebody else, somebody younger than them. Power the government and them having trouble raising money. And I'm not saying I'm a fan of Mayor Pete. I'm not saying that at all. I am purposefully keeping my opinions completely to myself, and that includes dislikes as well as likes. And please don't take anything I'm saying to mean that I favor somebody over somebody else. Okay, but tell me more about this. Is that Buttigieg? Is it? Buttigieg is going to run into problems too. He's going to have more success later. I'm not saying he's going to win, but he's going to have more success later, but he's definitely going to run into more problems. But I'm feeling his energy here. I'm feeling Sanders and Warren having their issues. I think different people are jockeying for position, and I think that they're going to be up and down as this goes on for a while. I don't think we're going to come out with a clear front runner for a while. And since I'm already on this topic, I didn't really want to read on it, but let me do a quick thing on how the race, just a few cards on how the race is going to go, as far as, is it going to just be up and down? Is there going to be a clear front runner? Is there going to be a major disruption to the whole process? I mean, what's just a few cards here on it's 10 minutes. Democratic race for the presidency. El Presidente. Mary has a great question. I just saw that. I don't know what it is. Contested convention. I don't know. Okay, how's the race? How is the Democratic race for the presidency going to go? How is the Democratic race for the presidency going to go? Tough. It's a heavy, hard slog. Very heavy, hard slog. It's easy to lose yourself. I mean, you're trying to raise money. You're trying to have star power. You're being attacked from all sides. You're trying to stick to your democratic beliefs. You're gaining whatever donations you can get, whatever delegates you can get at the convention. It just feels just like a really hard slog. Anything more than just it's going to be brutal. I mean, it's exhausting. It's not a job you want. I mean, you have to. Will the U.S. have Medicare for all? I will add that in later. Thank you, Mary. That's a great question. Anything more about this race? Is there going to be one clear front runner? Is there, is there going to be a disruption? Is there going to be okay, let me wait on that. Get clarification. Well, Trump's going to his corruption on trial. Hang on a second here. Is that, hang on, I need to, what that felt like was something, what goes silent? Because it felt like something going silent, at least temporarily, but something going silent. What was that? Government. Trump. The government goes temporarily silent because of Trump. Very strongly. Maybe he's going to leave office, but this is stuff against him. Don't mind me, I'm just following this rabbit hole. What's going on here? Messages. Paperwork, messages. SDNY. About Trump as a man in his business theft. SDNY bringing, all kind of stuff against him. Legal stuff. About the money. Okay, I'm getting Bernie and Elizabeth turned into the Democratic race for the president, which turned into Trump drama, government disruption. That was interesting. And before I move on to the Senate, I want to. Trump gets laryngitis, Stephen asks. I think it's bigger than that. SDNY, isn't that after his term? SDNY, isn't that after his term? It's not clear cut. It's not all after his term. And the well, the SDNY, they can indict a sitting president. That's a lot coming against Trump. And this feels like Mar-a-Lago, but it feels like it's like a museum or somewhere you'd visit, but it's no longer a Trump property. It's a part of history. All right, let me have a quick look at, is the U.S. going to get some form of Medicare for all? All in the U.S. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking at your comments right now. I'm trying to focus on this. I just occasionally glance at them, but I will be looking at them again here shortly. Medicare for all in the U.S. Medicare for all in the U.S. It's feeling like the future. Like not this presidency, but like the later in the 20s or the maybe even the 30s. But I'm just feeling suddenly. I feel like this is farther into the future than I thought. All right, that's coverage for everybody. In this case, it's the country, not the world. But yeah, in the past, people dying needlessly for lack of medical care. Just appalling. Center. Oh, look at that. It isn't. There's a caduceus right in the middle, and it's partnership. Base of the reading. Well, Trump. This is the Trump nonsense where he tried to. You're going to have better medical care under me than under the Democrats, really, and also with Democrats you'll lose access if you have pre-existing conditions where you won't under me. Meanwhile, Barr is, working on that whole those court cases that would get rid of the need for insurance companies to cover pre-existing conditions. It's like, yeah, if that's true, then why don't you tell Barr to quit? Kind of not do that, but okay, above the reading. Helping people who need help. They're being enough for everybody. That's the ideal. Near future. Fighting for it. Definitely fighting for it, even if people like Warren and Sanders, even if somebody who doesn't become president, doesn't even matter who it is. One of them could, I've just said those names because I just read on them. I'm just saying people who are in the Congress who, if whoever doesn't become president, they're still going to fight for it in a big way. Okay, home environment. The times they are changing. Hopes and fears. Well, we're worried about the children. We're worried about the generation that's coming up whose life expectancy isn't going up, who are not going to be better off than their parents. What other people see, a mess, an absolute mess. Final outcome. We're going to have to wait. I am getting that there's a lot going. We're going to have to wait. I'm trying to figure out. When I started reading, it felt like the future, but we are going to have to wait. Medicare. What about U.S. Medicare? Some form of Medicare for all. Any more information on that? Well, there is a point where Democrats are going to come into power and they're going to start making a whole lot of changes. And the government will have more say in healthcare or various things. We might have a working EPA. How nifty would that be? But also feels like a lot of regulations, and it's like, well, if it's the EPA, could we please just have the ones back we had before? That would be awesome, thanks. Medicare for all. It's still going to be a battle, though, to make the necessary changes, because you can't really flip a switch. And you have to really convince people, because they're going to be, even people who like the theory aren't going to like the decisions they would have to make and the cost of coverage. And I'm not saying I'm for or against it. Seriously, I'm saying this is what I'm getting. This is just what I'm getting. That it's the ideal, it's what you want to help all, but it's still a pitch battle, and what it covers and the cost and what have you. The one thing I will say personally is one thing I always keep in mind too much, because I will talk your ear off about it if you let me, our national debt. One of the biggest problems is our national debt. And there are ways to work around that. Move money from the military and take out loopholes, and I understand all of that, but our national debt is really bad and really scary. So that's just a personal note there. That has nothing to do with anything. But, okay. Medicare for all. Okay, so I get the feeling I should read on the Senate. Okay, speaking of the military, Trump is hiring them out for money. Actually, he said he's taking money from the military to use on the wall. Absolutely. I'm going to shuffle here on my lap. It's a little quieter. Senate impeachment trial. And when I can, I've been puttering around a little bit to create the graphic that goes at the beginning of the reading. And I'm sticking to a more typographic focus for now, because I need to make a bunch of these quickly. But I found a whole bunch of sort of circus-like graphic backgrounds for the covers for the readings on the days when the Senate impeachment trial is going on. Because anything to do with Trump, That just seems fitting. All right, will Nancy hold back an article? I love the graphics. Thank you, Lisa. That means a lot. That means a lot. I know I've been getting complaints that I'm not doing the more involved photo, ones that involve people and all this, but I love your graphics too. Oh, thank you. Jules Daramore, thank you. He turned our military into guns for hire. Well, Trump came out and said that Saudi Arabia had deposited X amount of money to pay for military protection. I forget what the thing was, but the talking heads on the news were like, what bank account was that? Excuse me? I like the graphics, simple and easy to find. Texas chili, thank you. Kathy's like, very creative, your graphics are great. I love you guys, love your graphics and your music. You are so great, thank you. Do I do graphics for others? I do not, actually. Thank you guys. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I don't know what I did in my life to deserve how great you guys are, but it must have been something really, really good. So thank you, Larry girl. And I must have saved puppies for a living in a past life to deserve you. Seriously. It must have just been amazing. Okay. Senate impeachment. And in the center ring, the men with no spines. Watch them crumble before Trump. And do his bidding. Watch grown men, grown, strictly Caucasian men grovel in service of the fool. Yep. Okay, we're in the Senate. In the past, they weren't lapdogs. They had agency. They were senators. Even if you disagreed with them, there was still a certain amount of gravitas, a certain amount of respect afforded, even when, they were doing fairly dumb stuff. Center of the reading. McConnell's disappointed that he can't just move for dismissal right up front. That to protect some of the weaker Republicans, that he has to allow them to not be for instant dismissal. So Senate ballpark about 28. Senate impeachment trial. Okay, base of the reading. Well, the Democrats have made some progress. That was a good move by Pelosi. She didn't leave the articles swinging in the wind forever, but she did hold on to them long enough that there is more push for witnesses and documents. Above the reading, that's the Past One Aid Agency. This is the card of theft, and it's right in the middle. This feels like what McConnell wants to do. But both below and above, I'm getting really strong Democratic energy, at least here. I get a feeling that this is it's going to go very Republican and not very successful. But right now, it's just overwhelming the theft that McConnell was trying to do. Near future. Oh, Trumpy. Oh, Trumpy, that's gotta hurt. That is the Trump dynasty. Kerpow. That's the near future. Whew. Yes, I'm holding these cards up much longer than I should have. I don't even really have anything else to say about them. I'm just enjoying looking at them. All right, home environment. The messengers sending messages back and forth. It's a lot of decorum. It's a lot of senators who have questions. They have to submit them in writing to Judge Roberts, and things go back and forth. It's a lot of decorum. Hopes and fears. Well, America. This is my card I get for America. America watching. So, hopes and fears are linked to what does America, what's going on? What does it look like to America? And what we see. Well, I'd like to say this is, Trump metaphorically being strung up by his heels, but no, this is the process being strung up by its heels. And I'm getting a weird tightness in my throat, like people being silenced, people not being able to speak the way they should be able to. Final outcome. Well, in the near term, actually, this is good. This energy is better than what I expected. Because this feels like the Democrats having a little bit more power, a little more sway than I thought they would. And it's the Republicans back on their heels a little bit, trying to hold on to their power. So what causes this? Because I've gotten, up until now, I've gotten nothing in the readings except absolute disappointment for Democrats. Kathy W., was that you at the top pushing him out of the window? I mean in the tower? It's funny. It's called fascist authoritarianism. Oh, you mean the Trump era? Yeah. Yeah, Dave. GM Dave. But what is this? That suddenly it's the Republicans being back on their heels. Feeling a lot more Democratic energy here than I was. I am having trouble picking a third card, fourth card. That means something, but I don't know what yet. Maybe it's just my guide saying, oh, for heaven's sakes, use enough cards as it is. That's investigations. That's more either articles of impeachments or indictments or something. That's investigators it coming out and having an effect. Because this isn't like the Sun card where it's things coming to light. It's things coming to a head. Oh, you got to tell us more than that. Oh, you have got to tell us more than that. Or is it just something the House uncovers? Is it something that somebody outside of the House uncovers? Is it something that... what's... somebody who's quiet right now. Somebody who's really worried. Somebody has information and they're worried. They're keeping their heads down, their faces covered. That's interesting. That's a do I come forward, do I not? But I don't know what this is. It's new to me. But we have another whistleblower. Good question. Why, baby? You have just the best questions. Another... whistleblower. Around 35. Actually, I'm gonna pick these cards up and shuffle just a little bit, and throw a few cards specifically on will there be another whistleblower. This is a serious change from the readings I've been getting, and I that always makes me skeptical. You know, I guess you know, I wonder what other readers are getting. Are we going to have another whistleblower? All right, this feels like a whole reading. Are we going to get another whistleblower? Somebody's scared. Somebody's scared. Is it somebody who normally... It's not like Trump. It's somebody who has information. Now it's about the money. Something about the money. In the past, well, there were whistleblower protections in place, so somebody could stand up and raise their hand and say, "Excuse me." Center of the reading. Somebody who thinks they wouldn't be taken seriously because they're a Democrat. Base of the reading. Something is causing them sleepless nights. I'm going to say, is there going to be another whistleblower? I'm getting a yes, but I don't... check with other readers. I'm not infallible. I always say that no one reader is 100% correct. So it's like guessing the right amount of jelly beans in a jar at a fair, where if you get enough people looking at something and guessing, it's amazing how accurate it ends up being. So I think of reading on the collective energy the same way. And that's why I started my channel. It's like I'm reading on this anyway. Let me just add my information. But this is doing the right thing. That's what these two cards are. Doing the right thing is hanging above them. Your future. What else could I do? Who could I go to? Which of the Democrats could I go to who would protect me? Or who wouldn't take me apart? Home environment, making a decision. This is very strong. I have no idea who this could be. This was not even on my radar, but the energy is very strong for what it's worth. Hopes and fears. The government would turn against them. What we see, dumb stuff that was done overseas. Quelle surprise. Final outcome. That's love the country, I hate what's been going on. That is this person going to someone in the Democratic, somewhere in the Democrats, in the government, to voice their concerns, voice what they've seen, heard. No, it's something Trump did. Is it something Trump did? Is it something that happened elsewhere in the government? Is it something Barr did or Pompeo did or that's usually Trump, because he has to be the star and he has to be the center of everything, and he's an emperor with no clothes. Well, this is the card for America. This is the Trump dynasty, but this is the Democrats sitting in judgment. Here, they're sitting in judgment. It's not the justice card, but it is Democrats sitting in judgment. So I would say yes. That's very strong energy out of the blue for me. So I'm sharing that. That's what I've got. So I never feel comfortable just coming up with stuff like that out of the blue. But that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. So I'm sharing it. Sorry, I am not talking about politics on here. Oh, Calibri Flyer, great question. Will Trump face justice for all the misdeeds he's done to women? Trump, justice. The longer I have this little notebook, the worse my notes get. The worse my handwriting. Trump, justice for is treatment of women. And that is not remotely how you spell or 41 or abbreviate any of those words, but here we go. Will Trump face justice for his mistreatment of women? Will Trump face justice for his mistreatment of women? Why do I get the feeling I should read on Trump as himself? Yick. I haven't had any of my cocoa. Doesn't seem fair to make me read on Trump himself without at least a sip of cocoa. Something to fortify me. But no, for right now, is Trump going to face justice for his mistreatment of women? Is Trump going to face justice for his treatment or mistreatment of women? Ugh. Yuck. Yeah, he's grossing up my cards again. I hate that. I hate reading on this topic with him. It's vile. And seriously, it feels like he's grossing. I know that's not really a verb, but it feels like he's grossing up my cards. Ah. Yuck. Well, there are certainly enough cases, certainly enough witnesses, certainly enough women who've come forward. Yeah, there are certainly enough cases, that have come forward. Center of the reading. Lawyers. Feels like lawyers at the center, base of the reading. Yep, cases because of what he did or did not do. Above the reading. He hasn't faced justice because of his wealth. His wealth and who he knows and whatever power he has put together. Near future. Who's being attacked? Is that the women or is that Trump about this topic? Let me pull a few. I want a qualifier on that. Is that Trump or is that the women? Well, I guess that's the women who've been silenced, but let's see here. It's the women, it's also standing up for other people, and I'm for some reason I'm picking up on the women who have accused President Trump of misdeeds. I'm picking up on women stepping forward because I want to set a good example for their children. I don't know why that's coming up right now, but there you go. Home environment. Oh, this feels like trying to settle it out of court. And I would have expected something like that to be Pentacles, but this feels like oh, you don't really want, it's like emotional manipulation. That's a shame, because normally I like the Knight of Cups card, but that's just the hopes and fears. Trump's just worried it's going to cost him money. He's not worried about him being found, convicted of anything. He's never faced consequences for anything in his life. What we see, oh, corrupt Trump. Yep. That's what that is. That is Trump as with the wheat of crime that bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay, the shadow knows. Final outcome. I'm not seeing a lot of justice. I'm not feeling a lot of justice here. I'm feeling that it does do damage just remaining unresolved. Let me see if there's any more information, but I'm not feeling. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's not a good temperance. But it's going to haunt. It is going to haunt his presidency all through time. Yep. And this feels like people, the stories coming out more detail at making people money through time. People making videos about it, writing about it, what have you. This is a stain on him forever. So it's not really justice, but maybe I'm trying to find a silver lining in this disgusting toxic cloud. But I guess the silver lining is it's not like everybody is trashing the women and saying, oh, Trump must be innocent. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer. I would much prefer if there was actual justice for what he's done. Okay. Trump himself is a stain, yes. Yes, he is. How do Trump's children feel? Honestly, I'm not going to read on that just because kind of the reason I read in Melania yesterday, but I rarely really read on Melania too, because these people, they had choice to get out, and must have cocoa. Thank you, thank you, Jody. They've had time to get out. They've had reason to get out. They've had after Helsinki, after Charlottesville, after Charlottesville and then Helsinki, after the babies in cages, after all of this stuff, they are, they are part of this. If they feel bad about it, tough, do something. If they feel good about it, they couldn't go much lower in my estimation. So will GOP senators break ranks with Moscow Mitch to allow testimony? I believe so. There's even talk about it this morning. Yeah, they're not children, they're middle-aged, exactly, and they have children of their own who they should be setting better examples for. Russia hacking affecting the elections. I've read on that, and what I got was that I've read on that a couple of times recently, and what I'm getting is that they're not updating how they do things very much. They're not, and we know it's happening, so it has less of an effect, but it has just a little bit of an effect, just enough that, anything they get now is gravy. They already were key in Brexit and in getting Donald Trump into the office of the presidency. Everything now is just gravy. But if they're really going to have an effect in the future, they're going to have to change up how they're doing things, which I hope they don't, and then they won't be able to affect us. Russia hacked Ukrainian gas company Burisma. Yeah. Yeah, I read about that. Will we ever see the contents of Packer's vault? Um, I'm I'm sorry. I hate not reading on things, but the reason I'm not going to read on that about the contents of Pecker's vault, in his book Catch and Kill, Ronan Farrow was he said he's seen the list of the list of the stuff they have on Trump, and it had to do with like 5 affairs and I forget what else, but he gave a rough idea of what's in the list, and it's nothing. I don't think there's anything there that would surprise us. Let's see. Will Kavanaugh be investigated? Sure, let's look at that. We're already on achy. I'm going to have to salt and sage the heck out of my cards anyway. All right, if I'm going to read on Kavanaugh, I'll try to make it quiet, but I need another cup. I need another sip of cocoa. Okay. Kavanaugh. If anyone here has not seen investigated, hang on, investigated. If anyone here has not seen Matt Damon's impersonation, his rendition of Kavanaugh on SNL, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You must see it. It is amazing. So I will not quote from it just because you've got to see it. You've got to see it. To read Kavanaugh, you need a cookie with your cocoa. Texas chili, I like your thinking. Sugar makes everything better, exactly. Kavanaugh. With squee. I can't remember the name of the was it Donkey Dong and Squee, and I forget what that whole thing was. I forget the details. Kavanaugh. Yeah, it's all comfy in his office. Well, he's trying to keep his head down. And does it matter that he's trying to not harass his the women who work around him? In the past. God bless the woman who was willing to stand up and talk about what happened, because center of the reading, his reputation is, yeah, this is a metaphor. This is him. This is the state of his reputation. And it's not just with people like us. Base of the reading. The Republicans ramrodded him through past the Democrats into office. Above the reading, yeah, the hearings were just gut-wrenching. Near future. Oh, there are going to be some decisions made after the next election. What kind of decisions? Let me look at these other cards. Let's see. Home environment. Oh, he's such a hypocrite. You must tell the truth. You must tell the truth. Yeah, he didn't. He's a liar. Not say allegedly, but it's who you believe. And one of them is a lot more credible than the other, let me tell you. Hopes and fears that he's going to get away with it. Get away with it. That's the fear. What we see. Oh, we're mad. I think most women in the country are mad about it. A lot of men in the country are mad about it. Yeah, that's Kavanaugh, right there. That's what we think of him. Final outcome. He's still going to be on the, well, that's him still on the court. There will be questions that come up after the next election, but this is him still trying cases. This is him still on the court. So is he going to spend the rest of his life, working life, as a Supreme Court Justice, Brett Kavanaugh? He's going to be there for a while. It is going to come back to haunt him. It is going to be revisited, but he's going to be on the court for a while. What's a while? Is this decades? Or is this years? Or is this next Tuesday? I can hope. Yeah, that's Trump. That's Trump as a man, and that's Trump as the rat that he is, not caring that Kavanaugh's accused of having abused women. Yuck. I just got that. Yeah, it's something Trump thinks, and I'm not saying those words out loud. They're not, it's not swearing, but I'm not saying those words out loud. Ugh. This is younger people coming onto the court. Big changes, a lot of new. This is him being overruled. Him being over. There are so many Democrats on the court that he's being. It's like what he says isn't being paid attention to. Oh. That's interesting. So he's still on the court, and he's still a slime bag, but there were so many more Democrats end up on the court, and young Democrats, that he's just that's that guy over there. But what he's pushing doesn't. He loses influence more and more and more and more. That's what I'm getting. Well, that's better than him just being up there. All right, so it's not what I want it to be, but it's not as bad as it could be. Okay? When do these Democrats arrive in the court? It's going to be over time. It's going to be over time. I don't, and Tara's not good with time, I'm afraid. Let's see, more judges added, because we're going to lose judges. We're going to lose judges. And natural attrition. It's not like, well, let me ask, is it natural attrition or is it something some horrendous tragedy, or is it McConnell's name is Mud in the future, I'll tell you that. Natural. Culmination, end of things. There, some, this sounds horrible. Some will die by accident, but a lot of it's just natural. A lot of it's just natural age. And they have their places in history, and it just feels like the normal, life. So that's what, oh, and there's the Justice card. So that's what I'm getting for the Supreme Court in the future. It's going to be interesting trying to timestamp this, but you're worth it. You are absolutely worth it. And I'm so grateful you're here. Oh, can I do a reading on divine timing? What does, I don't know what you mean, reading on what? Then I might have to do it tomorrow, because I have been on for an hour. And I will be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow at noon. Same pumpkin time, same pumpkin channel on the Black and Orange channel. Yes, please send Ruth Bader Ginsburg love and healing energy, please. Let's see here. Oh, I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this. I don't even feel like I need to read for you today. I did yesterday. I probably will tomorrow. But I'll leave you with this little piece of trivia you can frustrate people with or blow their minds with, okay? Ask somebody who's a trivia buff, or just somebody, say, which president appointed the most Supreme Court justices? Okay? And just think about your answer here for a minute. Matter of fact, I'm going to wait to see if anybody types in. Who do you think? Hello, Sienna. Who do you think, which president do you think appointed the most Supreme Court justices? Trump. Some of you've got it, but a lot don't. It's Washington, because he set up the court. So I will just, yep, it's Washington. So I will just throw that out there, because there are, people will, I don't know, I've blown various people's minds with that one. So I just thought I'd share. Okay. All right. You are so wonderful, and I am so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your kindness to, not just to me, to each other. And I wish you all the best. Absolutely all the best. And I will see you tomorrow. Kathy W. saying, see you tomorrow? Absolutely. And I will answer your questions then. And Sienna is just, by the way, if anybody has not subscribed to Sienna Rose's channel, she does amazing readings, and she's a fantastic person, and I really like promoting good people, and she's good people. So anyway, all right, but I'm grateful to all of you, and thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay? All right. Thank you.